Greetings and welcome to Channel Otherdoc. I'm Jim. I use he/him pronouns, and today we are playing For the Queen by Alex Roberts, a game where we'll be telling the story of members of a royal court accompanying their monarch on a mission to engage with a foreign power. We're going to go around, and we don't actually have characters per se, so I'm just going to ask everyone to introduce themselves. I'm going to go clockwise from me, and we shall all say hello. And I will start with Jillian. Hello.
Hello! Hi everybody, my name is Jillian. I'm known as GForGamingX on Twitter and GForGaming1 on Twitch, and my pronouns are she, her.
Excellent, excellent. And now let's go around to Ark.
Hello everyone, I am Ark Survivor. I do tabletop roleplay things on Twitch, never on my own channel. And I use he/him pronouns.
Excellent, excellent. And now let us move around to Denise. Hello.
Oh, why's it gotta be me though? Hi, I'm Denise. I'm a freelance artist. I'm layman's terms on Instagram. My free time, I do all kinds of role-playing games, D&D, Warhammer 40k, all that fun stuff. And I am she, her pronouns. Yeah.
Excellent. Incidentally, if anyone wants to see a sample of her work, if you are looking at the channel at any point when there's nothing on it, and you see the new mascot on there of the little goblin doctor, Denise drew that. Hire her.
Yay! Hire me.
And now let us move around to Rock. Hello. And you're muted.
Hey Jim, thanks for having me back on the channel. Yeah, I use he/him pronouns, and when I'm not gaming, I'm usually working on costuming or something else.
Awesome, awesome. All right. Well, like we do with most games on this channel, we're going to be using the X card, the N card, and the O card. So if we hit something that's crossing a line for one of us, any of us can type an X in the Zoom video chat or anywhere else, or make an X symbol, and we'll back up and we'll do something else. There's actually also the X card is built into this game, so folks can also just go and tap the X there if they want. It's there in Roll20. And it's actually, and hopefully we'll all see that, but if something happens that we're okay having in the game, but we don't want a graphic description of it, we can type an N in the Zoom chat, and then we'll fade to black on it, or we'll put it behind a veil. So it'll be there, but we won't go into detail about it. And finally, if we're exploring a topic or like an area of roleplay that's particularly intense for us, but we want to keep going, we can put an O in the chat to let us know we're okay and that we're good to keep piling on the drama. Something else we can do is put an O with a question mark after it when we're moving into a difficult topic, or we say or we do something and then think, maybe that might have been a little too much. Then everyone else can respond to that with an X, an N, or an O, and let us know if we're still doing okay. As will be described shortly, it's even baked in for this one. So, this game, there's not actually a lot. This is a story game. There's not really much in the way of role-playing per se. This is mostly description of things. That we sort of come up with based on prompts that we're going to draw off of cards as we slowly build this story of who our characters are and what their relationship is to their monarch, whom they're all escorting. But to start off, we're going to go ahead and the rules have us take turns reading the instructions, basically. So if you're looking in Roll20 and you see the green deck, if you click choose, then you will be able to see all of the cards, and they're numbered as they go. And I think we're just going to go ahead and go and keep going clockwise. There are a couple of footnotes that I will interject with from the Roll20 instructions as we get to those cards. After the person reads the instruction, and I'll describe those as well. But I guess I will go ahead then and start, and we'll just keep going clockwise around the screen that I have it here, that I have it on the overlay. And so, card 1, it says, go around the table clockwise, taking turns reading these cards aloud. That is the first card. And so then we pass to Jillian.
The land you live in has been at war for as long as any of you have been alive.
And over to Ark.
The Queen has decided to undertake a long and perilous journey to broker an alliance with a distant power.
And over to Denise.
I gotta figure out what the hell we're reading.
That's all right. Now it's going to be... So can you see the cards if you go down to the... Hover over the green deck?
Yeah.
And you see choose.
Uh-huh.
And you're going to be card number 4 is where we're
Okay,
at right now. So just click on it and it should enlarge for you. You should be able to see it.
These damn things. Why do you hate me so much?
You can also go to the journal and they have the cards laid out there.
Yes, that too. If it's too hard to see it in there, then you can go over to in the upper right hand corner. It's like should be like the second tab, the little newspaper tab, and instruction 1, 2, 3, 4. It just goes all the way down.
Okay, hold on. It's aha. All right, you stupid thing, embiggen. Or don't embiggen, that's fine. There we go. All right. All right, number 4. The Queen has chosen all of you and no one else to be her retinue and accompany her on this journey.
There we go. And over to Rock. Who is muted?
She chose you because she knows that you love her.
Yes. Number 6. You are welcome to look through the Queen cards for inspiration. If there is one that seems right for the group, place it on the table to inspire your story, which we'll do in a minute. Also, let's see, instruction number 6. The Queen cards are in the Queen deck. You can have everyone click choose. Okay, that's just... We'll jump off that bridge when we come to it. Let's see, instruction number 7. Ignore this card. It will be addressed later. So we're going to hop over to Jillian. We're number 8.
Right. Shuffle the red prompt cards and place them face down in the center of the table.
All right, and we're gonna have those in a moment. For number 9, we'll go over to Ark.
Put the Queen is under attack card in the middle of the deck for a game that takes approximately 30 minutes, or shuffle it into the bottom third of the deck to play for an hour or more.
I have come to discover that this is a lie because this game rolls much longer, or at least it does when I play it. Because there's
Just
this...
have very descriptive players.
Well, that plus you can ask each other questions, and that is a thing that we tend to get into. I'm going to be trying to position the... I have a way to do this in Roll20 where I'm going to try to position the card where basically I just shuffle it until I can see where it is as a particular point in the deck. Usually about a little over halfway, I think, is where it's pretty good, optimal for a broadcast of this length. But now let us move on to Denise for card number 10.
Okay, hold on. I'm looking. When you have read the instruction cards, continue clockwise with the red prompt cards. Take turns reading the questions out loud. Interpret these questions and answer them however you wish.
Yep. And over to Rock. Muted again.
Oh my.
Yeah, no. And I'm sorry, we're on which one?
Number
9?
11.
Number 11, sorry. All right. Other players may ask you questions or make suggestions on your turn, but whether you answer those questions or include those suggestions is entirely up to you.
That is very important. Nothing actually can necessarily be true unless you accept it. And so let's see. Back to me for number 12. Place the X card somewhere everyone can easily reach it. And of course the X card has already been placed on the playmat. And Jillian.
Oh, sorry, it just came extremely loud for me for a second for the music. If you encounter a card or an answer that you don't want to be included in the game, tap the S card. That content is removed from the game.
Yep. Yeah, basically, and it says here just as a footnote on Roll20 to tap the X card, you can click and hold down the X card, say X card, or use any other convention that works for your group. All right. Ark?
If you draw a card that is removed this way, simply draw another card. You can X a card that you drew yourself.
Yeah.
Do. Oh, come on, you stupid thing. Ugh. Let's see. You can also pass on your turn. To do so, give the prompt card you drew to the next player and say, I'd like to hear your answer to this question.
Yeah, this is also what we call a power move. Okay, Ron.
All right. And a prompt card can be passed around the table until someone applies the X card to it.
And number 17, continue answering, passing, and Xing questions until the Queen is under attack card is drawn.
Each player should answer that question in turn, then the game is over.
Last one, right?
Mm-hmm.
Whoever wants to can draw the first prompt card.
There we go. So, let's go ahead and pick out the Queen we want.
We
go
have
ahead
a number of choices.
Yes, you can go ahead and on the blue deck you can click choose and it'll show you the different options. I have taken out the two that have already been used on this channel, but the rest are still available. So what do we think, looking at these images? And this is mostly just for inspiration. There's one in particular we want to. There are no mechanics that come with this. This is just what I want.
So want to choose the one that we like the most.
Ah, Queen Elizabeth is in there.
Yep, she is.
I'm gonna suggest that one.
Uh,
I don't know, I kind of like the cool looking one.
I like this one.
I'm here for this one.
Yeah. Let me pull back so I can see which one you pulled out. Oh! One with
Warrior
horns.
Princess.
I like her.
You want to go with the one with horns? I'm fine with it.
The
Oh,
devil.
yeah.
Wait,
Oh, no, I see the one with horns, and then there's the one with... Okay, yeah. What she got is it a snake?
It looks like a lizard. We
It
also
is a
have,
lizard.
like, a-
I zoomed in. It's a lizard, yes.
Yes, and then we have... There's a warrior Aztec-looking princess as well. Or queen. My apologies.
She might have been a princess at one time.
Yes.
So what do we think? Which are there any of these that we that strike us as things we want to do?
I mean, it doesn't matter to me.
Mm,
Bueller?
I'm good with the last one.
oh, so the warrior queen.
yeah, let's
The
go
one
with
the
her.
staff. All right.
Yeah.
Cool. Let me go ahead and here I'll just pick these others up. There we
Wait.
go.
There you go. Right there.
That is the queen.
That's
Interesting. Okay. Cool. It's
She is a
fascinating.
warrior.
It looks like it. Might have some kind of magic type thing going on, maybe. I don't know.
Hmm.
It's actually up to us whether or not there's magic in this setting or not. It's
That is true.
just depends on how we how we talk about things. Okay. So let me go ahead and I'll hide that deck away, and I will bring out the prompt deck, and we can get started on this. Let me actually let me go ahead and shuffle it and see where the so you make sure that where we have things. Hang on just a second. While I'm doing that, 5, 10, 15, 20, 25, 10, 15, 20, 21. That looks like that's a pretty good place for it. Okay. Okay, yeah, I think we're good with where it is right now, and if need be, we can, like I said, we can reshuffle or what have you. So I'm gonna go ahead and I'm gonna change the music now. So who wants to start? Do you want me to start by way of demonstration, or does someone else want to leap in?
I'm good with you starting.
All right,
Yep.
I'll go.
Go ahead.
I shall go. All right. So I shall draw a card from the deck, and I can do that by like just tapping on the thing and then grabbing and dragging it over.
Oh.
See, the queen touched you once. What about the memory of that will stay with you forever? Keeping this relatively PG.
Yep.
I think that, let's see. All right. This will kind of sort of flavor things in one direction or another. I think that when I was, I had not been in her service for very long. But when it did happen, I think I got. She chose me to start working for her, and it is this thing. It is sort of a ritual, I think, that perhaps she does, where she holds out her hand and has you clasp it. And it's kind of sort of a handshake type deal almost, but it's really more of a thing where it's like she uses her hand that has the from the arm that's tattooed there. And there is meaning inherent in that you are basically, is an understanding that you become kind of part of the story of of her legacy, and so it's very important when you are chosen in that fashion. And I mean, it's how the whole thing started for me. So that's what's going to stay with me forever, because it has changed everything. Did anyone have any questions?
How did you feel in that moment in time? Like, did you feel like nervous at first? Did you feel some sort of like emotion?
I was kind of terrified because I really was hoping that she would pick that she would choose my older brother, who was considerably better at this kind of thing than I am. He was also in line. We were all there, just sort of in line, kneeling in front of her, and I was the one that she elevated, and it was an utter freaking mystery at the time. No one thought I was going to get picked, but there it was.
And how's your relationship with your brother now?
We talk occasionally, or I talk to him occasionally. But I don't really, he's one of the few people I can't really read very well. Or rather, I should say, I can, in that I can tell that he is concealing. He does not seem to ever want to share any information with me ever again after that. So it's very difficult. It's always very, very surfacey. And on the few occasions that I get to see him,
Kitty claws.
kitty claws are incredibly painful.
Kitty claws.
Dear Kitty!
It was Jim's attack cat.
Ah,
You had a really good moment too.
very sharp little claws. Sorry.
No worries. But
It's
yeah,
why you
no,
wear pants around cats.
yeah.
Yeah.
But yeah, he is anytime anytime he sees me, it's like his face just becomes a mask of neutrality.
Do you think that his perception of how he sees you has changed ever since that you were chosen and he was not?
Probably. I mean, he couldn't stop talking about how nervous he was beforehand, and how he was very happy that I was in his corner for it. I wanted him to get it. We all wanted him to get it. And then I got it. And then it got weird. I don't really know exactly what he thinks of me anymore.
Do you feel threatened by him?
Not especially. Not especially. I think I mean, the thing is that I know that he's a good person. So anything that he would I think if it came to a point where he were to be acting against me in some fashion, I just honestly, I think that if it were to happen, that, well, that would be meant to be, one way or the other. It's not something that in some ways I would welcome it. I think I'm starting to get a hold of an identity here, but sorry, keep going. Anyone else have any questions?
I guess no.
No questions? All right. All right.
It's my turn.
Yep.
All right. Let us see. Just. Why is it no? Okay. There you go. What do you do for the queen that anyone else can do, and why does she make you do it?
Yep.
Such a strong question. What do I do for the queen? Anyone else can do, but why does she make me do it? I think that the one thing that she would always make me do that anyone else in her entire court can do, but she only allows me to do it for some reason that is still unknown to me, is that I haven't done it left. Oh, I have it. I have it. I think she makes me spy on the enemy to learn their secrets. She could have had anyone else in her court to do it, but she had me do it instead. I sometimes question it. I sometimes ask why it shouldn't be me and no one else in her court. And the one answer I always get is that I shall tell you one day. And that is all I ever get. Do you have any questions for me?
Where does this usually take place? Like, is this something, like, is it you're exceptionally good at eavesdropping as you move around the various, events? Or is it something where you actually have to go out into other territories for?
I would have to go into sometimes I would have to go into other territories. Sometimes I would go to the town that resides near the castle for this kind of thing. And in those kind of areas, I would be seen as the last person to be expected to be a spy. Because the people that think that someone is stealing information would just ultimately blame someone else entirely and not me.
Have you found
Does
out
the queen
anything?
have-
Sorry. Go ahead.
Sorry. Do you want to go first, or?
You can go.
So does the queen have many enemies in our own country?
There's been rumors and whispers of possible attempts at her life in exchange for favors of the enemy. But some of them can be domestic because of talks of rebellion within the town against the queen, because they have a feeling that, like, if she cannot end this war, they might as well end it themselves.
Have you heard anything really good lately?
I have the recent rumors that I have heard is that she has a secret lover.
Ow, oh God.
and that the only way to bring out, and they feel that they find out who the lover is and take him or her or they don't judge, that they can have a weakness against the queen and try and force her to do their bidding.
I have a follow-up question now.
I have
I think
questions.
we all have a follow-up question.
You all have questions.
I'll hold my follow-up question in favor of.
Alright.
Do you think there's any truth to these rumors?
I would say that, like, the queen has a very tough exterior. She's very hardened, mostly keeps to herself. So, to be honest, I don't even know myself if there's any truth to this rumor.
All right, who's next with the follow-up question?
Feels so popular, oh my gosh!
How did she react? How did the queen react when you told her this?
When I told her, like it was like the throne room was quite busy with people chatting and debating about different problems, certain strategies for the upcoming battles, and just like when I go over and tell the queen what I've heard, I think, wait, let me look at the queen. Yeah, like she's holding her scepter / staff, and she just like slams it to the ground. Her face so stern and cold as she stared at me. The whole room goes quiet, and she tells everyone, including me, to leave the room now. And without hesitation, we all go.
Well, there's your answer.
There may be some truth to it, or there's something else entirely.
I have another follow-up question, but maybe too early to really ask properly. Have a good grasp on what the answer would be. Does anyone have any other questions before I continue plowing ahead on this?
No, knock yourself out.
So, here's one.
Okay.
Based off of what you've heard, do they suspect, is it suspected that her secret love is an actual, like an affair or paramour or whatever, or perhaps it is something else that is not necessarily romantic in nature, but still extremely important, almost like an obsession?
I feel like in this case, I don't know. I would probably be like trying to figure out like what's been happening. So I feel like in this case, it'd be too early to tell. I just know that this rumor has hit the queen a lot harder than I thought it would. Because I was originally thought it was just another baseless rumor until that reaction happened. Oh my god.
Come here, pants.
When you told the queen the rumor, and she had everyone leave the room, as don't know if you happened to be paying attention, but did everyone in fact leave the room to the best of your knowledge?
Yeah, they did.
Okay.
Like they know, like if they try to disobey her, like it's not gonna end well for them. They know better than to disobey her orders.
Okay. Yep.
Is that everyone's questions? Alright. It's now Ark's turn.
What makes the queen beautiful in your eyes? Well, I believe that not only is the queen beautiful in physical form, but the way she acts and rules her country is equally as beautiful. Sometimes it's with a careful and somewhat nurturing hand, and sometimes she has to bring her fist down in anger. I think there's something truly beautiful in that. Any questions?
When you say that sometimes she is nurturing and sometimes she brings her fist down in anger, is it when she brings her fist down in anger, is it kind of immediate and reactionary and very just kind of, you know, burn it to the ground kind of bringing down, or is it almost kind of, you know, pity or remorse? Is it she tries to go for a lighter?
Does the queen have a temper? I think is
Yeah.
what he's trying to ask.
The queen has a temper for good reason, I'd say.
Now, what would be the reason?
The queen appears to have many enemies, as told by Jillian. And those enemies need to be dealt with through fire and flame.
So, have you, was there a particular time when she, disciplined someone that you found particularly artful or beautiful?
She has a very artful way of using her stave. The way she swings it when she beats down a non-supporter.
about her nurturing side? What is it about her nurturing side that you find beautiful?
Well, I remember there was once this family that came through. Everyone expected her to pick the older brother, but she saw something in his younger one. She planned to nurture him and bring him up to the level in her court.
We're not speaking from personal experience, are we?
No, that was not me.
I think that was me.
It was.
And like, what do you know about like what level of court did this little boy go up to?
He is currently a fine courtier, attends the Queen, and in most of the court sessions.
I have no further questions.
I have no further questions, Your Honor.
Yeah, no further questions.
No further questions.
Okay, it's to Denise.
Yay, it's my turn.
Yay!
Yay. Okay, give me the card, you stupid thing. I hate this thing.
You just drag it, if that makes... There we go.
Alright. Why do you think the Queen trusts you enough to bring you on this journey? Because I don't speak much and I keep her secrets. Now go on, ask me what her secrets are.
Would you know that the rumor of the lover is actually true, or is there more to it?
I will neither confirm nor deny any such rumor.
How long have you been a secret keeper for her?
15 years? And not once have I met that stave.
Not once have you what?
Met that stave, that spear
Oh,
spirit.
yeah. Oh, yeah.
I'm one of the lucky ones.
Huh.
Why are you so quiet?
Called introversion. Good for keeping secrets. That and I hate people.
Introverted people have the power!
Is that why you think that she chose you to do it, or is there another reason?
There could be another reason, but if there is one, it's something the Queen has not told me, and I have not decided to ask.
What do you think the reason might be?
I think it could be because I have very little interest in what happens to other people. So when it comes to bringing king's evidence or queen's evidence, as it might be called, I have no hesitation in telling my queen what it is that she needs to know. Also, I just hate people.
Why do you hate people?
I don't like people.
Why don't you like people?
I've never liked people.
Is there a reason you've never liked people?
No, I was born this way.
Is that a trait that you have in common with the queen?
I believe so.
Hmm. Do you know more about this? Do you know more things about this trip that we're making than is meant to be known?
I do not. Honestly, I do not. Any more questions? Bueller? No?
No?
Okay,
All right.
I hate you all.
Yay!
Yay!
Ross, go ahead.
All right. Let's see here.
Alright. Time for the next one. Yay!
Does not look like it drew.
It's in your hand.
Yeah, it's in your hand.
Oh, is it?
Yep. Just gotta click on it and then just drag it out.
Oh, there it is. I see it.
Mhm.
You are considered ugly by almost everyone you meet. How does the queen make you question that perception?
Oh.
This game is roasting us now.
Remember, you can always X any of these questions if you want to.
Or
no,
pass
no, no,
it.
no.
Yeah.
I think it's I think it's because I'm considered ugly by almost everyone I meet because I am actually of slightly mixed birth. And so since I'm not pure blood, so to speak, certain features are considered undesirable.
Oh, people are just rude.
So there's that too. And the queen doesn't focus on those abilities necessarily. Like she doesn't always like make a point of saying something about how she thinks that this stands out or that's beautiful or anything. Sometimes she just almost kind of like brushes it aside as if like it's, you know, it's normal, it's natural, it's no big deal. But there are other times where, you know, she will make sort of a passing comment. And a lot of times she may do it in front of someone else, especially if they've, you know, tried to make a veiled insult. Then her response is usually, you know, not like, it's not like she comes out and just goes, you know, oh, well, you know, that's just a, you know, that's what makes that person beautiful or something. It's usually more kind of, or I mean, like she doesn't smack them down for it, you know, like her response is just kind of very casual, you know. Because somebody points out, you know, the color of the eyes, and she'll say yes, but you know that's what makes, you know, she'll like make an analogy or something, you know.
Is this question time?
Yeah.
Or are we just gonna kind of take this one in stride?
Why are you in the court if you're so ugly?
Man,
Wow!
rude.
Oh.
Well,
Maybe you can X
as
any of
you
our questions
stated-
too if you want.
Yeah. So as you stated, the queen has a nurturing hand. The queen occasionally sees things that other people don't. And she saw in me, partially it was an opportunity to serve as a lesson to others that exterior appearance isn't necessarily important. That, you know, if you dismiss something just because you don't like the way it looks, then you probably are going to miss out on something.
Do you think that your dual heritage will be helpful to us in this mission in some way?
I think it's part of the reason why I'm on the journey, is because the other half of my heritage is a country that is wavering as far as whether it is going to side with the Queen or whether it's going to side with the Queen's enemies. And so because I was raised with elements of that culture, I can provide a little bit of insight. She doesn't know that I can't provide as much insight as she'd like, but she, you know, there's few subtle things.
Are we good?
I think so.
I think so. No further questions.
Over to me.
Yep.
What did you bring with you that endangers the Queen?
Uh-oh.
Oh, what did you do?
Jim, what did you do now?
All right, well, so,
Hi, my name is Jim, and I'm a quiet murderer.
yeah,
I brought my best friend and he likes to stab people just at random.
yeah,
Forensic Files Anonymous.
yeah. So, okay. So, as part of what I do, for the Queen, I maintain a I wouldn't call it exactly a menagerie, because they're well treated. But we do have a certain number of animals some folks might consider exotic. She wanted to bring 2 of the really big lizards on this trip. And they are very good at eating people.
No. We're going to take 20 questions. Is it? What is a tiger, Alex?
This would be kind of more like I think that if we were to put it into terms that in other terms we might think of them as things that are kind of like slightly upright alligators.
Well, that's
Did you bring a basilisk into this? Did you bring a freaking basilisk?
He brought a velociraptor.
I cannot confirm nor deny that they are in fact basilisks. I have never seen them turn anyone to stone. And I raised them from when they were like eggs. So
So emotional trauma is not a thing, huh? We're not going to bring something to emotionally hurt the Queen. We have to go with physically hurting her.
Emotional trauma could easily have been a perfectly fair interpretation of this. Unfortunately, my brain jumped directly to lizards.
Well, of course.
Okay.
Of course it jumped to
I'm
lizards.
sorry, what?
Of course.
If we're not happy with the lizards, we can X them. It's fine.
No, I love it.
No,
These are great.
no, the lizards are fine. I'm just like doing
We're
it
making
like
fun of your character, not you.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, we're making fun of the character, not you.
Your character.
Oh, okay,
Yeah.
cool.
It's the character Jim, not the actual Jim.
Okay, that's all right then.
Okay,
I
no,
now just
basically.
kind of see that you're just at the courtier, you're just like a part of it, and your part-time job in the castle is just being the caretaker of lizards.
Well, yes, right. So I do wrangle the basilisks. They're not actually basilisks. We sort of call them that. But we, it's and a number of the other animals that we have. I brought my hawk with me, and that's useful. And we use them. We use the basilisks kind of to hunt and all that. Because they're quite good at that, but they're very precious. They're not. I don't think they would actually hurt anybody that we didn't tell them to.
Are the lizards venomous?
So they do. Have a paralytic venom.
Mm.
Um,
I think that answer is yes.
Yes, they are. Where it, when someone gets hit with it, then their skin does take on some of the texture of stone, or appears to. But they're not basilisks. They're totally not. They're just, we call them basilisks. But
But
And
these
things are
basilisks. Oh, sorry.
These things are hunting and catching our food. Do you think that's a good idea?
well, they're helping us with the hunting. It's I know they're the food. It's it's really more of fleshing them out thing. The venom only really is. It's only if they use it at a certain intensity that there are problems.
Remember,
Our cook also happens to prepare puffer fish,
Yes.
lionfish. So
Oh, yes, totally. So our cook is whoever it is that we have cooking, because I think part of this is it's only us on this mission. So
We'll just call him Steve.
but that's what I'm saying is it's only us on this mission, apparently, according to the
That's
according
five
to
and the
setup.
queen.
Yeah. So yes, I'll just say that is that I'm probably also cooking anything that they catch, and I know how to do that so that there's
remember, if it looks like a basilisk and has eyes like a basilisk, it's obviously a duck.
That's right.
Obviously a duck.
I have
What
one more
is-
question, but I can wait for anyone else's.
I had a question. Would these basilisks be considered a symbol of our kingdom?
I mean, they're the banner does have it's I mean, okay, that they're officially, they're that has the monitor. The monitor is our court animal. And that's a different family from these family, but it's a different, it's a somewhat different species from the basilisks, but they are kind of closely related. They do look very similar, so I can understand why someone might think that.
what is it about you that makes you exceptionally good at maintaining some degree of control over these basilisks? Is it like a trust thing or a knowledge thing, or
Well, my family does this largely for a living. We've been doing it for a very long time, and you kind of get to a point where you can almost kind of hear what they're thinking if you do it right. There are certain rituals you undertake and things that you do that allow you to be kind of in sync with them.
That's not terrifying at all.
Definitely
this
not
a,
terrifying.
Is this a family secret kind of thing, or is it just something that your family is exceptionally good at?
There are others who do it, but I don't think they do it in quite the same way.
What are the basilisk's names? I'll still have to step away for a second. My dog is calling.
According to the basilisk name generator,
Basilisk name generator?
Because of course that's a thing that exists. Why wouldn't it be?
You know, I'm pretty good at naming stuff.
according to
That's your thing.
the basilisk name generator, I think I'm going to call them Seki.
What? Wait, it's actually a thing?
Yeah, of course it's a thing.
He posted the link in chat.
Yeah.
I'm just like, wait, what?
And Nagishu.
Damn it! I know. No, I demand you name one of them Gertrude.
I'm sure someone calls one. I'm sure someone calls one of them Gertrude.
I don't know what to say right now. I just can't believe this is actually real.
Really? 'Cause Harry Potter had a basilisk, and I mean, name generators were shortly to follow thereafter.
Sorry about that. I am back.
Yeah, so Art, there's basically a thing actually called a basilisk name generator.
Yeah. Fantasy Name Generators is an awesome site. I'm just going
It
to
really
leave
is.
it at that.
I like it a lot. It helps.
Okay.
So, yes.
Great. I don't have any further questions.
No further questions, Your Honor.
Neither do I.
It's my turn! Yay! Right. There we go. Do it? Yeah! What part of your journey will be the most difficult? How do you pull the rest of the retinue through it? I think what's going to be most difficult for me is that it's just going to be, like, for me, I would feel like I would be thinking, oh my gosh.
I'm sorry.
What happened?
For chat, I posted in the Zoom chat when the basilisk escape.
Curse you,
No.
Zoom chat.
I think I broke Jillian.
Okay, no.
To be fair, she was on the verge before, so I don't think it would have been that hard.
It's not really that difficult. Okay. I feel like the most difficult thing for me would be that like I would have like a lot of thoughts going into my mind going through this be most difficult because it's been so long since I've been to where we're going, because I was actually sent to the Queen as a representative of the maybe alliance that we'll be having from this country. So I'm actually a representative of the country, and I've been away from home for about 5 to 6 years or so since I've been home. And just like all this emotion, anxiety of just like, I haven't been home in so long. What might have changed? Maybe everything that we wanted for this alliance, this end of this war, would it change? Did it change that I did not know? Like, I feel like all this anxiety would have just like they start coming in as like the more they continue on their journey, that like she would like, or me, I would try my best to pull the rest of I would pull the rest of the retinue through path, like knowing like I would help them, like if I'm familiar with a pathway that would get us to our destination quicker, I would point it out and I would help them get through. Like if there's anything dangerous that I know about from a certain area that I read up about, I would let them know about that as well. Do you have any questions for me?
Well, there's the second part there. How do you pull the rest of us? Oh, yeah, you already did that.
Yeah, I already did.
Yeah, you did that.
Explaining how she'd drive us path,
Yeah.
basically.
Yeah.
Yep.
Yeah. Is there a particular personal reason why you're worried? Is there a specific thing you're worried has changed that... like,
I feel
personal
like
to you?
anything. I would think that, like, over, like, ever since the planning where she was chosen to return about a month before the planned journey began, contact with her country didn't come through. Like, something happened. She had, like, about... when it was announced about the month beforehand that she was going to be returning home with the queen. Sorry, she sent out a letter through the usual way, but usually she get back word about a few days later, but it's been over a month and that hasn't happened, and she is now beginning to worry that maybe plans have changed and she does not know about it.
What plans?
Because her country, the one that they're alliancing with, is in a state of like that, like from recently, from the last year or so, a plague has been laid across the country, and this kingdom, the queen, knows the cure to this illness. So part of the deal with this alliance is that the queen would be able to sustain a cure for this plague, and that the kingdom wouldn't be in so much disdain and despair. So I think, and maybe one of the anxieties that maybe the royal court is succumb to this illness, and that maybe she's too late.
So this will kind of be a two-part question. So since you're a representative of this country would you be the one responsible for setting up the alliance? Or at least helping?
That was one of her primary responsibilities, was trying to make sure that like the alliance, everything would be set up as her, because she would know what would be best for her country, and she would be the one who would say like, if we're going to do this, once we have an alliance, we should get this in return, blah blah blah. And that was her primary thing that she had before the queen was like, okay, I need you to look at this for me. So that was before the spying thing started.
Okay, second
because
part.
No one expects the other country's representative to do all the spying.
The second part is, why do you think it's a good idea to bring the queen through a plague-infested country?
But to be fair, she knows the cure.
She does know the cure.
Yes, but if she knows the cure and she gets sick, what if she dies before she can say the cure?
Well, the cure is actually in her scepter. It's an innate magic that can cure it, and only she has that power in that staff. It's like the staff that very few people know that probably Denise would know, but yeah, because she's the secret keeper, and that the queen has secretly told me, because she has a certain trust in me, is that staff is a very old artifact from an old age that the royal family had inherited, and it has that power, and only she can wield it. So as long as the staff is with her, she can be able to cure the plagued lands, and she herself could be immune to its illness.
Does anyone else have any questions?
I think I'm okay.
Because I have one more and I just don't want to hog the spotlight.
Oh no, you go right ahead. You hog that spotlight.
Hogging like
Okay.
one of those basilisks.
So, is everyone in this country all for the Alliance, or is there people that disagree with it?
I would say that, like, when for the majority of the town, they were grateful that this country is that the queen is finally doing something, that there's an alliance. There's going to be alliance, there's going to be an end to the war. So there were some enemies that were going to go against the queen, kind of dissipated with that relief and evidence that the alliance is happening soon. But the small flame of rebellion that's still there, the one that has heard of the rumor of this lover and wants to use that, still has a lot of doubts that this alliance would hold and be stable enough to end this war. So it's mostly relief with a little bit of doubt. Okay.
Good.
It is now Ark's turn.
When was the last time the Queen showed you real kindness? Okay. So, I'm not from the town around the Queen's castle or where the head of her empire is. I'm from one of the more populous towns on the outskirts near the borders. And during one of these skirmishes, the enemy had much more troops. The Queen dropped what was currently going on and aided my family in repelling these invaders.
That was nice of her.
How did she provide aid for your family? Was it making sure that they received an ample amount of supplies, or was it that she helped them get away from the area?
She sent troops to help repel the invaders, and then once the battle was over, she sent supplies and to help reinvigorate the town.
Did your family benefit from that specifically over anyone else? Like, was there something about the situation that caused her to pay special attention to your family?
My family rules over that town underneath the Queen. I am in the court and I asked for her help, and she was kind enough to send it.
Do you think the Queen might have another reason for having helped?
It might not have to do directly with me, but it is a town near the border. Perhaps you just want to keep the borders intact. But either way, it was a great kindness.
Okay, it's Denise's turn.
Yay!
Yay! Let's find more about this secret keeper.
I mean, you can try.
Our introverted, people-hating secret keeper.
Just call me Edmund Blackadder.
Oh, dear Lord.
Oh, dear goodness.
That does not want peace in this land. Why are you attached to the war?
Oh.
Well,
Ooh.
I can make money off it, can't I?
Yeah.
I mean, there's profit to be made in war. And, you know, war can lead to certain alliances and certain freeing up of resources and things. What?
Is there a particular enterprise you're undertaking that will be helped by the continuance of the war?
Well, any enterprise that I may or may not be a part of would may or may not implicate the Queen.
And what would they implicate the Queen?
They may or may not implicate the Queen. It may or may not be that the Queen is much more interested in particular resources, and maybe the war is convenient to the gathering of these resources, but what do I know?
Would these implicators that you are working under have something to do with this little rebellion?
I can neither confirm nor deny that I am working with any kind of rebellious whatsoever. I have no idea where you're getting this information. Some spy you are.
Would these rebellious groups that you may or may not be working with may or may not be working for the Queen as well?
It may or may not be in the Queen's best interest to keep rebellious persons on hand.
Would there be the case that you may or may not be the one that spread the rumor about the Queen's so-called lover?
I may or may not have absolutely no idea what you're talking about. Any other questions that I may or may not be able to answer?
Where's the Queen's secrets?
Say again?
What are the Queen's secrets?
No idea what you're talking about. The Queen does not have secrets. She has a secret keeper for that, and it's not your business to know what those are.
Do you suspect that any of these individuals that you may or may not be working with are in turn keeping secrets from you?
No, I would have known them already. Very good at finding out secrets. Secret keeper does not just mean I keep one person's secret. Secret keeper means that I know everybody's secrets, so I can then use it against them. It's called blackmail. Does wonders.
So, would you may or may not be in the know of every country's secrets and every queen's enemy?
Look, it might or might not be that this war was started after faulty information was released, but I can neither confirm nor deny that. It might be that somebody got mad at a dinner party and, other secrets were revealed that maybe shouldn't have gotten out and war was declared. It might or might not be just a giant misunderstanding. We'll never know.
Do you feel like this is going to be a good trip for you? Is this going to be a good calendar year, do we think, as a result of this trip?
Yeah, I might or might not make a lot of money. We'll see how things go. We'll see how
Good.
Do you believe the alliance will go through?
I believe it has the potential to go through. Certain circumstances notwithstanding, of course.
Are
You
you capable
literally
of giving
sound
us-
like some sort of either loan shark or realtor broker. I can't tell which.
No idea what you're talking about. I don't know what you mean by this. I have no idea whether or not that land is worth a lot of money. And
Are you capable of giving a straight answer?
what? No, there is no such great answer. No,
There's only LGBT answers, never straight.
Look, there's a middle of the road, okay? We all know this.
Okay.
I'm just saying that land might be worth a lot of money to somebody who is very, very good with money and who might or might not need people to get the hell out of the way under varying circumstances, which are of no consequence to me.
I have no further questions.
Not to cause the speculation tree to grow even more branches, but I have to wonder.
Do you though? Do you?
I do. I have to wonder if there might have been some kind of
Misunderstanding?
well, either some kind of land strategy involved in the rescue of that one particular border territory that one of our retinue comes from.
I wouldn't know anything about that. Couldn't tell you. Even if I could, I wouldn't, but I can't.
No further questions, Your Honor. Okay, I guess it's over to Rock.
All right. What promise did the Queen make to you before this journey? Do you think she'll keep it? That's a good question. I think she promised that if I aided in being able to help with forging the alliance, if my information was of any use, then my future in the kingdom or queendom, my future in our country is like secure without question. Like I would, there would be, official recognition in the court as being, an actual noble, no longer a servant or an aide. And that attempts would be made, if so desired, to allow my family to immigrate or the rest of my family to immigrate from where the other country is. And I think I think she will make every effort every reasonable effort to stand by that promise. I mean, we've already established that she is as nurturing as she is iron-fisted. So I have a feeling that she has a certain sense of integrity, and that she would not make that kind of promise lightly.
Why do you think she is offering you, a filthy mudblood, someone of low status, this promise?
Well, I think she overestimates my familiarity with that aspect of heritage. It's the kind of thing where it's like, you grow up and you know certain things based off of their use in the home,
And then you drink
and
you know things.
and when you're in a courtly environment, you can kind of press those things to an advantage to make you appear knowledgeable. But when it comes to current trends, you're not necessarily going to be up to date. So I think she may think that I will be of greater use than I actually am. And it's an important alliance that needs to be forged.
Do you feel bad for essentially lying by omission to your queen?
And I thought I was the asshole of the group.
You're the one that doesn't talk and is an asshole just by being quiet. Yes. I'm the one that actually says the asshole things.
It works. It works.
No, because they're nobles. They have everything they want. They can get anything they want. So if there's an opportunity to be able to make things just a little bit easier, go for it. It's what they would do.
So you feel resentment towards our queen?
Not resentment. There's a certain... It's not resentment. It's there's a little bit of envy and a little bit of respect. I mean, they have advantages. She has an advantage, and she's using it.
I'm good.
I'm good.
Yep. No more questions, Your Honor.
I'm thinking maybe we'll do maybe one or two more questions and then go to break if folks are good with that.
Yeah, sure.
All right. So here is the next one. There's a false rumor about you and the Queen back at the royal court. What is it, and how did it start?
Oh!
He's the secret lover.
That's it. You're it, aren't you? Wait, I already know the answer to this question. Never mind.
This is funny because there's this is a thing that happened a couple of sessions. I think the first time I played this, but not through a question directly. It was sort of revealed at the end. There is a false, but it's a false rumor. There is a rumor that I'm that I might be the lover that people are talking about, and I think people misinterpret the queen. Those times when the queen has been asking me to teach her certain things about controlling the animals.
Mm-hmm.
And there are certain ways that that can look that I think may lead people to think that there's more than there is. I mean, the queen, in as much as the queen likes anyone, which is not very much, we get along fine. But, and we do kind of have something of a connection, because I sort of, part of the technique that we use, even involving the animals, does involve connecting with things on kind of a spiritual level. So there is that aspect, and I think that is what I think people have mistaken for an affair. I think when it started, there was another courtier who saw it happening, and then that then spread.
So what the hell are you teaching this woman to do with animals exactly?
So there is... I can't go into detail too much about the technique, because A, it would take a while, and B, it's not something, we talk about a lot outside of our family. Obviously, we can, we're very happy for to talk to the queen about it. But there is a certain thing where you are listening to the rhythms of things, kind of communing with the rhythms of these animals. And there gets to be a point where you can not only hear their processes, hear their heartbeats and everything, and you can kind of get to the point that you sort of can interpret their thoughts.
So you're teaching our queen how to speak to Mr. Bobo. Venomous basilisk.
No, Mr. Bobo doesn't really talk to anybody much anymore. He's getting really old at this point. But I mean, she's really good with Seki. Nagishu, she's kind of... Nagishu doesn't like her that much. So there's kind of a little bit of a weird contest there. They're good lizards. They're very good lizards.
They're good dogs, Brent.
Yes.
Would you have liked these rumors to be true?
Don't lie now.
I think... Well, I mean, on one level, who wouldn't, right? But on the other, well, I mean, there's this figure that you've, for a good portion of your life, you've looked up to, and then they take an interest in you, and that would be amazing. But at the same time, just realistically speaking, when I think about it, I know that I would become a target, and she would become a target because of just simply the act of choosing me for that, and that's something she needs to stay above. And I totally, and I don't think... I think I'm grateful that it's not true, because if it were, things would be... even that much more dangerous for both of us. And I just don't want to do that to her.
Do you think that there's any truth to you were probably there when she asked everyone to leave the court when she heard about this rumor? Do you think her reaction has something to do with you, or do you think there's more to it?
I didn't feel particularly singled out when I didn't feel particularly singled out when she said everyone leave the room. I understood she can be emotional at times. She's very passionate, and so these are things that this was an expected expected. This is the reaction that I would have expected. So I didn't think that it had anything to do with me.
So come
My
on, how
hawk
long?
kind of did, but that's his problem. Pascal has a very overactive imagination, and so when I talk to him about it, he's kind of, he likes to think these things.
Do you think your brother has heard the rumor? And if so, what do you think he thinks of it?
I hope he hasn't. If he has, then I'd think that I'd be worried that he'd think that I'd be letting the family down. We have a name to preserve. We have a balance between humanity and beasts to preserve, really, if you look at it from a macro level. We don't want, upsetting that balance would not be a good idea.
Why would the queen want to learn how to talk to snakes that aren't actually snakes?
She's not bad at snakes, actually, but
Yeah, but that wasn't the question, though.
right. No, it's fair. Why would she want to learn how to? Well,
I don't know.
I think she. Well, no, that's I'm digesting the question, and now I'm attempting to. The thing being that I think that she there's definitely. I think she sees an advantage, not only in the ability to do such things, not just for whatever tactical reasons she might have, but then also that I think she does have some degree of appreciation with being in balance, just sort of with the world, and understands that animals are a way to gain greater understanding of that.
And everyone needs a hobby.
Yeah, that too. I mean, she doesn't seem. It doesn't really feel like a hobby for her. It does feel as though she's got a purpose, but she does seem to enjoy it for what it's worth.
I mean, I feel like I'm the only one who's starting to think that the queen might want to, I don't know, unleash the basilisks on these people.
He's going to use the basilisks as ambassadors to Godzilla.
I'm just saying.
She could do that, possibly. I mean, she's not. I don't think she's good enough at it yet to do it herself. Entirely. I mean, well, she could just sort of. She could prod them a bit and just let them do whatever, and then that would flip a coin to see what happens. But yeah, it's possible. Like I said, she's better with Seki than with Nagishu.
Do you feel like the queen is using you to learn of this talent and then it's just going to send you home?
I don't think she'd go to the trouble to bring me along if she was just going to send me home. But if that is what happens, then that is what happens. I'm not concerned about that. I don't think that is what is going to happen, though.
What do you think is going to happen?
I think when we get to where we're going, she will use what I've been able to teach her thus far to gain a greater understanding and perspective on the lands we're visiting and those with whom we are negotiating.
I'm pretty sure it's not going to be a negotiation. I'm pretty sure it's going to turn into a Godzilla situation. The only negotiation is going to be everybody else going, oh please, oh please, oh please, save us from the snakes. And I'm pretty sure you're going to be the one controlling the snakes.
I mean, I suppose things could go that way. But she has, you know, I think the queen is is discerning and has a definite understanding of that any such thing is would of necessity be contained and only used if the need were dire.
Mm-hmm. Pretty sure
Call
you
it
are.
insurance.
I think you're giving the queen far too much altruism than she deserves.
I see it more as practicality than altruism.
Mm.
The queen always knows what is right.
It's pragmatism, really. People,
I have no further questions.
people are more likely to do what you want if you're not threatening them all the time.
Yeah, I also have no more questions.
I also have no more questions.
All right. I guess Jillian, go ahead and grab a card, and we'll do your question, then we'll go to break.
Okay. What? I'm just gonna draw and just take it out because it's easier because I cannot drag it for some reason. Just take this out.
What happened?
Now remember, you can
the
pass
queen
the
is
question.
not
I
your-
already answered this.
The queen is not your queen. Why do you serve her anyway? I feel like I already answered this
You
question.
did.
Then I'm just gonna pass.
Yeah, you can pass it or exit if you so
I am
prefer.
passing because I have already
Oh.
answered this question in a different
Okay.
way. I passed.
Oh boy. Okay. So, what I told you earlier about how the Queen sent troops to aid us, we were actually on the other side of the border. She conquered our town, and I consider that a blessing.
Why?
The Queen knows what is best for all of us. She is a good and gracious ruler. And I believe that she is a better ruler than our enemies.
So you do not have any regrets of letting the queen take over the town from the enemy then?
I have no regrets about anything in my life.
Does the word sycophant mean anything to you?
You know, I feel like this is going to be one of those, like, Alexander the Great meetings, and then we're going to be salting the earth when we leave.
Look here, okay. The only way to go through the Gordian knot is just cut right down the middle, okay?
That's fair.
We ain't got no time to solve Gordian knot. That's just too much effort.
I do have a question. Another question. Sorry. Did you have another question?
No, I'm good.
Oh, okay. So, what benefit would you get out of this if you serve our queen and not the queen that originally had the town?
Well, I have risen high in the Queen's courts. As it can be said, I am one of the 5 she picked to come along with her. And I believe that's a good sign for me and my family.
Do you think you're going to be getting some land out of this deal?
Yes, it's very possible. By the graciousness of our queen.
Of course.
Of course.
I see the threads coming together here.
Yeah, right.
We're just slowly just learning the secrets.
Any more questions?
It was a secret I didn't know before 5 seconds ago.
Yeah, well, you know,
Things
some
happen.
secrets are best left found out later.
Absolutely.
Yep.
Okay, if we have no further questions,
I have
then
no further questions, Your Honor.
we're gonna go ahead and go to break. We're gonna break for like 5-10 minutes, and
Yep.
then we shall return to see how the rest of this unfolds.
Yep.
And I am excited to do so. All right, folks, we'll be back shortly.
Woo!
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 We have returned.
Huzzah!
And so Ark was the last to go, and it actually does just continue around the circle when you pass. So it goes to Denise to draw next.
It does go to me. Hooray! All right, come on, you stupid thing. Not you, the cards.
Also us, though.
Let's see. Okay, give me my card. Pants, stop chewing on my fern, darn it. Ugh. Okay, when was the last time the queen hurt you? Like, physically, or?
You can interpret
Up for
that however you
interpretation.
like.
I think the last time the queen hurt me before she realized what I can do was the first time we met. And the queen thinks that she can... Seriously, this cat. The queen thinks that she can one-up people and win because she's queen, and no one will tell her otherwise, except for me. And the queen cut me deeply, and she thought it was funny, and she thought because she was queen that I would kowtow to her and beg and plead, and anything that she wanted or anything that I could say against her would be immediately silenced because she's queen, and our dear queen found out otherwise when she heard me and then tried to blackmail me. What she doesn't realize is my family is completely apolitically connected. We have our own wealth, and we do not, or rather I should say I do not care too much about what the royalty does. And left to their own devices, I could care less whether or not the royalty fades into obscurity. It doesn't bother me. And when the queen found that out, she was let's just say it was a day that she will remember more than I do. There were secrets involved, if anyone is wondering.
What were the secrets?
Oh, that I can't tell you. I agreed to work for the queen on the condition that I would never, ever, 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 ever speak of such matters again. The queen is very sensitive, you see. She puts on an air, but she's very sensitive.
Does your family have a particular interest in ending the monarchy?
Ending the monarchy? No, by God, no. We make too much money off of the monarchy. Or rather, I make too much money off the monarchy to want to see them end. If I play their stupidity against themselves, well, I mean, it's only fair. No one ever said you had to be smart to be royalty.
So you said it was like a physical cut me deeply, or was it just an emotion, like a mental?
It was contrary to what you might think. I do have emotions, and it was emotionally hurtful.
Okay.
It was emotionally very hurtful to me.
Did that scar you emotionally in any way? Did it kind of leave you more isolated than you were before you met the queen?
No, I was always isolated. I hate people. No, it hardened my resolve to use the queen to my full advantage and not feel guilty about it.
Follow-up question, if no one else has any questions right now.
I do have one.
Okay, you can go ahead.
If you were to speculate, how much longer do you foresee this current monarch being to your advantage?
I give it about 6 months. She bores me.
Oh dear.
So you don't love our gracious queen?
No, I don't. Absolutely not.
So, would you say that you would have the true power over this kingdom?
No, the queen has the power. I just have power over the queen. In this one instance. Bueller, any more questions?
I'm good.
I have one. I have one more question.
Absolutely, please.
Yes. So I know in the previous thing you said that you wanted to benefit more from the war, but does the family side of everything want to benefit more from this war or from more political standings?
Are you talking the royal family?
No, your family, your political family.
Oh, you mean me?
Yes.
Yes, I'm my family.
Yes. Oh, so are you just like the only one, or is there?
It's just me.
No parents?
No, they died a long time ago. No brothers, no sisters, no husband, no nothing. Just me. And, the cats. So what was the question again? I'm sorry.
No, that was basically it. I have no further questions, Your Honor.
Do the cats have any particular agenda?
The cats are happy if they get fed on time, okay?
I mean, I could discuss it with them if you like.
I mean, if you want to.
Yeah.
If you want to. If it will make you feel better, go talk to my cats.
I mean, yes, feel the need.
Their only agenda is food.
Yeah,
Yep.
that's fine. Usually,
And catnip.
that's a lot of agendas.
You know what? My cats actually don't like catnip. It's really weird.
Oh,
Oh!
a follow-up question happened, unfortunately. Occurred to me, and that is, you said you'd give it about another 6 months.
Yes.
If we correlate that with your previous statements about the war being good for business, are you foreseeing then that this war might not, even if it continues, might not last all that long?
Yeah, that would be the logical assumption, yes.
Hmm.
You remember how I said you didn't have to be smart to be a monarch?
Yeah.
I'm just saying. And if you remember my earlier comments, the war might or might not have gotten started because somebody was insulted. I'm just saying.
So if the queen is dethroned in like less than around 6 months from now, would you benefit from this by gaining a spot on the throne, or is there someone next in line?
Oh god, no, I don't want a spot on the throne, no. Actually, I would prefer if this queen does stay on the throne because she's easy to manipulate. But I don't see that happening. So woe is me. So I give it about 6 months. Give or take.
I think that's every question.
Yep.
Yeah.
All right.
Oh.
Huh. Queen lights a fire in you. What is it?
Like a real fire? Because if it is, we need to put you out.
He has actually just been on fire this whole time.
We need to do something about that. I don't want to die.
Somebody's been watching this channel and knows what kind of responses I'm prone to. I think what it is, it's the promise of the of advancement. I think is what that drive, that fire is. The whole thing about the promise of, if I help her with forging the alliance, then, elevating and, instead of just being a servant or an aide, then, having an elevated status in society. I think that's the fire right there. Anything and everything is all conversations with her have a tendency to kind of circle around back to this goal, this perspective. So it's almost a form of brainwashing to a degree, because everything becomes part of this singular motivation.
You don't suppose that the queen is using that? She is sort of turning you into a tool or a weapon of some kind as a result?
Yeah, I'm sure of it. I'm absolutely committed to the idea. I mean, it's she sees me as for the duration, a useful tool. And so she's going to use me for whatever purpose I can achieve.
And
Are you a useful tool?
Well, I might just be a tool.
Yeah, that's what I thought.
We'll see how useful.
Your question? No?
No questions, Your Honor.
All right. Here we go. What is something you do for the royal family that has prepared you well for this journey?
More basilisks.
What is something you do for the royal family that has prepared you well for this journey?
Muck the lizard stables.
I know, right?
Yeah, right? Long hours.
Oh, well. Reconnaissance. Because, thing is, the hawk that I keep with me, Pascal, isn't the only one.
The hawk's name is Pascal. Oh my god. So great.
Pascal is just, the lead hawk. And the thing being, I can pretty much use, we have a rookery, but any birds that we happen to spot on the way I can also use pretty much and find out what they've seen.
So you're a spy is what you're saying.
No, I am
No.
not a spy. I employ spies. It is completely different.
Kind of sounds like
Does that mean that you made the suggestion to make me the representative of the country that you're trying to forge an alliance with a spy?
I don't
Okay, very
think...
Deathrus.
I'm not... I'm not deeply political as these things go, so I mean, the Queen has a far better understanding of how these things work than I do. It was a happy accident. You were in the right place at the right time, and, I was just thinking how cool it would be, and then she actually took the suggestion. It was kind of funny.
Wow, so that was the actual thing that she told me that you'll find out one day, and this is it. You're the one who made a suggestion. Why did you do this to me?
I didn't know I was doing it to you at the time.
Layers upon layers upon layers.
See, all I'm hearing out of this is blah 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 blah. I'm a spy, blah 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 blah.
Yes, but Pascal's usefulness is only applied to 1 meter square.
I mean, honestly, it's there's only so much there's only so much birds can grasp of what people talk about.
Yep.
They do grasp seemingly more than we give them credit for, though. I will say that.
They probably do.
Who's the real spy master? You or Pascal?
Please be Pascal. Please be
So
Pascal.
the thing about Pascal, okay, look. Pascal is very good at managing other flying creatures. This is a skill that he has learned a great deal over time. And to be honest, I couldn't be prouder.
So the answer really is yes. Pascal is the spy master.
Pascal's the brains behind the operation.
Well,
I feel like Jim is the kind of guy that, you know how most guys keep pictures of their kids in their wallet. I feel like Pascal would be that kid in his wallet. Like, this is
Absolutely.
an egg. This is him when he was born. Oh my God, this is him on his first flight.
there's a possibility. There may have been paintings
saying.
commissioned.
I'm just saying.
Do you have paintings of Pascal in your wallet?
I mean, I don't carry a, well, I mostly just carry, in my purse I do carry some money. But I will say that there are a few paintings around with him in it. I'm usually also in them. But that are if you've been in the palace a few places, you'd probably see them.
Yeah, they're the ones with him in full Renaissance outfits, aren't they? That's
I have a question about this. Does the queen have a painting of that in her room?
Well, that would be awkward.
There it is.
Out! Okay.
No.
I think that I mean she liked the work. She had one done, and she keeps it in the room. Yeah. It's very good. It's a very good take. It's a very good likeness of the two of us.
Uh-huh.
I guess you can
Pascal and
say you're
myself.
just a bird of a feather, I guess.
Yeah.
Yep, we just pretty much literally clawed our way into this one.
Yeah, we have ascended to full pun.
I feel as though the stream's about to end suddenly. No, wait, sorry. I'm getting that feeling somewhere.
And you told me to get the flock out of here.
Yeah.
I will turn this video around right now.
Oh, don't you mean you want to
First
turn
time.
you would turn this flock around?
I can just shut your mics off. You know that?
You can try, but you can never keep our beaks shut forever.
See, so the problem with puns is that people will rather deliberately do them badly. And the thing is, puns can be so much more than that. I'm not going to go into the full diatribe, but if you would like to hear all 10 volumes of it, feel free to ask at any point when I'm not streaming.
Look, the only thing that needs to be said about puns is they need to mature to full grown, okay? I'm just saying.
It helps.
Yep. So do we have any further questions?
That's a... Anything else?
Oh yeah, do you mean any feather questions?
Oh my God, get out.
Nope, I'm here to stay.
The basilisks are looking a little hungry at this point.
Hey, wow.
All right, no, we're good. I think
It's my
we can move
turn.
on. Your turn.
I did something. Uh-oh.
Yeah, you flip it over and then
Oh.
you can grab it and move it over.
Oh.
That's what I've been doing. It's a lot easier.
Oh, I think I drawn it.
found it easier.
Okay. Because I actually drew another card.
Huh?
The queen sometimes show personal, shows interest in your personal life. How do you respond to that and why? Interest in my personal life.
Be like me, just say no.
I feel like a queen would have interest in my personal life because like, of course, I am a representative of the country that wants to forge an alliance with her. So I would feel like she would want to know a little bit more about me and my life in this country, what my home is like, and then I would tell her a bit about it, and then like as I'm like talking about it, she would just like, she'd probably like, as we like sometimes have these conversations every once in a while, as like we're just having our own personal time and everything, I feel like at some point she would answer this one random question to me, and it's that, are you I know that you were chosen as the representative, but why is that? Like, I feel like she's just questioning like my credibility as the representative, like that's the extent of like what she asked me. Like, she didn't even go into it. I'm just like, what? And like she just like, oh, never mind. I shouldn't really do that. And then she just walks off, and I'm just like, okay. And I just feel like after that, like, I'm just like, oh, okay. I feel I feel like that's another thing that, like, another worry is just like maybe she thinks that I have a secret, and she thinks that I'm keeping something from her that could affect the alliance, but I do have something personal that I would like to keep to myself. And I'm pretty sure that I'm so... no! Denise, get out of here. This is not your scene. It ain't your scene. No. No.
Hey, I'm just saying. Like, what?
So, do you have any further questions for me?
What's the secret?
Hey, thank you.
That I am not, obliged to share.
Why is the queen personally interested in you?
Why is the queen personally interested in your secret?
That too.
Maybe because I feel like maybe it's because of my like quick learning and talents of her just like picking me and be like, you're now my spy. Help me out with this stuff.
Yeah, but
like,
why would she make you your spy? Why would she make you a spy?
Because Jim suggested it. And like,
Why
maybe
did Jim suggest it?
Nah. There's the hard questions.
Oh. So I may know Jim's cousin, who is also from my kingdom, who might have like said something about me.
I see.
So
Can I roll for insight?
I didn't make a damn insight check on her.
maybe Jim, like yeah, so maybe this, like, it had something to do with my spying skills, like how I learned so quickly. Maybe she got suspicious, like maybe I know more about spying than it seems to be, and maybe me being here is like, maybe she's not who she seems.
Well, we already know she's not the queen, so.
No, I am not the queen. I ain't a queen. I'm just your normal
Maybe she's actually the queen's lover.
Ah!
Did you start the fake rumor about Jim so that you could hide your relationship?
No.
Okay, fair enough.
No, why would I do that? I would not go out of my way to make a fake rumor just to piss her off. That's the last thing I'd want to do.
Oh, that's unfortunate. That would have been funny.
See, Denise gets it.
I'm just saying.
I'm okay.
Do you feel as though you have the necessary... do you feel as though your credentials as an ambassador are in question?
I feel like after that little encounter with the queen, I would say that, like, I would sometimes question my abilities as an ambassador, and maybe think, like, does she see me more as a spy than her ambassador? I don't know.
I have no further questions.
I'm good.
Alright, so Ark, it's your turn.
What is it? What's it say?
Oh!
You
Oh
arranged
no!
this journey. What did they offer you? Dun dun dun!
I arranged for the queen to be ambushed on this journey. What was I offered? Yes, I arranged for the queen to be ambushed on this journey. What they offered me was the throne.
Ooh!
Gosh!
So that whole sycophantic act was just an act, huh?
Dun dun dun!
Do you have a claim?
The claim of blood and war.
Do you desire the queen's staff more than the throne itself?
That's right.
What I desire is the queen's death.
Why? What did she do? Mr. I love the queen so much.
You can still love someone and want them to die.
No,
It's
no,
very
I got
complicated.
that. I got that. I just want to know the motivation.
I do love the queen, and it's with a heavy hand that I am forced to do this. She... You see where I come from, it's customary to answer and act with one in kind, an eye for an eye. And during her little rescue, she did kill my parents.
Yes.
The scandal!
So revenge, huh?
Partly, but also the claim to the land.
Mm.
Would you know, like, if you wanted the staff as well as the throne, do you actually know the secret of the staff?
I think you told everyone about it earlier.
Yeah, I'm pretty sure you told everybody
Yeah.
the secret staff.
Wait, are you gonna be? Are you?
No, I said like I was trusted with a secret that very few know.
Yeah,
So
And we know. We're some of the few that know.
maybe. Are you? Well, there's a sort of liminal thing as to whether that's in character, out of character. I prefer to
Yeah,
sort
it's
of
a
leave it
little-
very
it
vague.
it was
Right, yeah.
definitely out
Yeah.
of character.
We're
that I
telling a
said.
story
Yeah.
about these characters, so that we can.
Mhm.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I think he wouldn't know about the staff itself, but he might still want it just because, you know, it's fancy.
Shiny. Who doesn't want shiny things?
Exactly.
Yeah, shiny things.
Is the just to be clear, is this kingdom we're visiting the one that your province used to belong to?
Yes.
Given that, then since I'm wondering if now, perhaps you don't know it's the staff specifically, but I do believe there was some sort of rumor to the effect that the queen had something about the plague. Is there then a reason why you would leverage the, should you be successful, why you should leverage the cure for the plague potentially against your former countrymen?
Well, I can give it to them as a gift. No need for any negotiations. I have nothing against them. In fact, it's in my best interest that they succeed in curing themselves.
Hmm.
Are you going to keep the queen alive to learn how to work the staff?
If I can. If not, then that's unfortunate, but things happen.
I mean, there's got to be an owner's manual around somewhere, right?
Yeah, owner's manuals are always a thing, especially with magical items.
Well, that throws my plans into whack. Thanks for that.
That was kind of a wrench into all the plans.
It really was. It really was. I do not appreciate it, but it's all right. I'll recover.
All right.
I think it's your turn.
Yep. It's Denise's turn.
Let's see. Do I do something horrible to the queen? That would be in character for me. Let's see. What does it say? I can't read. The queen had you punished once. What about the memory of that will stay with you forever? The torture chamber, I think. Yeah. Yeah, it's not a nice place. Not a nice place.
Ooh. Can you go ahead and drag the card out to the... Oh, there it is. Cool, cool.
Yeah.
Yeah.
What were you punished for?
Yeah, remember that secret, that whole thing that she cut me and then I used her secret against her? Yeah.
What was that secret?
Oh no, I'm not gonna tell you. I mean, yeah, she's gonna be ambushed and everything, but that secret will go with her to her grave.
But yet you still live with it.
What, the secret?
Yes.
Oh, of course I do. I have to use it against her somehow, don't I? Although this throws my entire plans into whack. Which is not fair, by the way. Oh, thank you.
Well, life isn't fair.
Just wait till I find out your secrets and use them against you.
Do you think your payout is going to be good enough to have endured this torture?
Look, if I get to watch the queen die, then yes, it'll be worth it.
You think the torture was justified?
That's all a matter of perspective. From my perspective, no, it wasn't justified. From hers, I'm sure it was, because she wanted me to be her loyal little plaything. So for her, I'm sure the torture was justified. For me, no, it wasn't. Questions? Bueller?
I'm good.
All right, next one.
You have a personal connection to the land you are currently traveling through. What makes you want to stay, and why don't you?
It seems like more of us are from this land than the original one.
Yeah.
Well, I'm going to say that the personal connection to the land that we're currently traveling through is I have a friend in the area. Just real simple explanation. I have a friend that's in the area, and I'd like to be able to stop and be able to visit with them and spend some time. But I also know that this is an important mission, so we have to kind of push forward.
Do you not like your friend that much?
No, I like my friend greatly. It's one of the best friends that I had from my childhood. But if we don't push forward and sue for peace, then their proximity to the border would put them at risk. It's more important to go ahead and get that taken care of to ensure that they don't have anything to be concerned about.
Do you reckon there would be consequences if you were seen interacting with this friend of yours?
Yes,
Why?
because they are they're from the country we're currently at war with.
Dun dun dun.
And does this and does your friend side more with the enemy or more with the queen?
For Alliance or against the Alliance?
Neither. They want nothing to do with it. They're just a simple fisherman, hunter. As far as they're concerned, as long as they are able to live off the land, that's all that's important. They have no political aspirations or leanings.
That's a rarity these days.
How did you come to know someone since you are currently in the political game?
How did I come to know this person?
Yes. With them being simple and you being in the political system.
Well, they were a childhood friend. They were somebody I grew up with for a
And
couple of years.
Lady touch?
Limited touch. After I started moving, after I was recognized and started moving through the court system, it became less frequent, especially with the development of the war. Such a connection could be dangerous to both of us. More so me. But
Is he a mudblood same as you?
no. No, both of his parents are from the same country.
Did you ever think your actions could be labeled as treasonous?
Well, that's why I covered them. To make sure that nobody knew, staying in touch with him.
No, nobody knew until now.
Right. But it had crossed my mind that it could be considered treasonous. That's why I attempted to cover, and also why communication became less and less frequent.
I have no other questions.
Neither do I. I'm good.
No further questions, Your Honor.
Me too. Okay. The Queen gave you a compliment once. What was it, and why have her words stayed with you?
You are very good at keeping lizards.
Huh. I'm just trying to decide which direction I want to turn the knife.
You can also pass it, of course.
Oh no, I've got to turn the knife. It's very important. I think that, see, there are... Yeah, okay. Alright. The compliment was twofold. It was it was a little unusual for me and for her, indeed for her, I think. The first part being that, and this was not long after the incident where people were asked to clear the room. It was a little time later, but it was like the same day. She said that it seems like the way that I see things and the way that I understand sort of the rhythms of the world and nature and animals is a much simpler and easier way to go about things. There's ways that she's in some ways found superior, which is strange, but there it is, to what she and everyone else has to do every day. And when the topic of the rumor came up, she reflected briefly that it's the only time that I've seen her smile. And she said something to the effect of, wouldn't that be something? If only that kind of thing were possible. And I wasn't sure if she was being serious or not. But I was kind of bowled over by the whole thing. And it was, those, what she said stayed with me because I didn't have that idea in my head before. And like I said, it's not the kind of thing that would be possible. It wouldn't make sense for her. It would put us both in danger. But every now and then, if I feel as though I'm, if I'm having confidence issues or what have you, I do sometimes think she did once imagine what it would have been like. And thought it would have been nice. Any questions?
Now, do you believe that was an actual compliment, or are you misinterpreting an insult?
I mean, it's pretty obvious it was a compliment. Come on.
The conversation here, I think initially she was going to play it off as an insult, but the conversation went on a little too long to. I think she was planning. I think that was her original intention, but the conversation went on longer. She kept us both in the room there for the conversation, and it got to the point that it was kind of became clear that it was an actual compliment.
I don't have any more.
Do you think if presented with the option now, the queen would take it?
Well, We have something rather important to do, but after that, I would have thought 1,000 times no, but the more that I think about it, I'm shifting to maybe.
Well, that's the end of my questions.
I don't have any questions.
Well, it's over to you.
Yep. Oh! It looks like we made it to the end, guys! The queen is under attack. Do you defend her?
So everyone gets to answer this question, but Jillian, you drew it, so you can go ahead.
Yep. I believe that the ambush does happen. When the ambush does happen, I would indeed defend her. And the reasons are quite obvious is because, first off, I want the war to end. There shouldn't be any more suffering. Secondly, I do need her and her staff to help heal the people of my country and save them from this illness. And thirdly, I think near the end now I can actually tell this secret. I can now tell the secret because we're at the end, out of character, is that I am secretly the royal assassin.
Dun dun dun.
Oh, there we go.
But my Assassin's Guild work for my kingdom and used only for the good, and I was rarely used. And I was sent as the perfect ambassador because I know everything that happens in the kingdom, and that I would be of great asset to this queen, just in case of anything happening. Which in this case, she made me a spy. That's probably why she became suspicious. And I would defend her with my assassin's skills and defend her by taking out these other ambushers. So stabby stab.
Okay, everyone else gets to answer this question as well.
I would not defend her. I would be exactly like Edmund Blackadder and be elsewhere. Money anytime.
No, I would not defend her. I would attempt to stab her in the back, into the heart.
Is he on mute again?
I'm gonna have to say no. I would not defend her.
What? Mr. Queen so much?
A good tool can be used by anyone,
Oh.
whether it's the person currently in charge or whoever is next in charge.
Dun dun dun.
Jim? What would you do?
See, I'm torn, really, because there's a certain amount of turns that were made. Certain number of turns that were made here. I think that. I would defend her. Because she's not supposed to die yet.
Did the snakes tell you that?
Or was it Pascal?
Yeah.
Will Pascal defend the queen?
See, the thing is, oh yeah, Pascal will defend the queen, because she's, there is a certain There's a certain bond that is formed.
All right, look.
But I think that the reason she's not so... yeah, that's the thing, is that knowing who needs to be in place at what time, evidently the plan is that we need to at least keep her alive through the negotiations.
Why?
Because... we need to keep her alive through the negotiations, because then that's how we get that's how we get access to the rest of the basilisks.
Oh, for pity's sake.
You're just here for the basilisk, aren't you?
Well, by and large, I mean they're you know, they don't pay much, but they're actually still they've got a good idea.
So, are you gonna use the basilisk to help defend the queen?
Yeah, sure, absolutely. And then as needed, well, you see, it's really that's the thing, is that there are a lot of much older ones that are kind of more, some people call them dragons, I guess, in that other country, that have some very specific ideas that are going to be quite helpful in determining the future of in the future of these nations. And so ultimately it's, to be in tune with nature is to be in tune with them, because they're kind of at the crux of a lot of these things.
Spoken like a true druid.
And, if need be, we can keep the queen alive long enough to get other, whatever other information we need. If depends on who they decide needs to be the next ruler. If that's Ark, that's entirely possible, and the paralytic will keep her alive long enough to be able to get what would be needed out of them. I do hope that she's going to be okay, but at the same time, because I do love her, but at the same time, it's really too late for us. And that is an unfortunate tragedy of this whole thing.
We're all just a bunch of backstabbers, aren't
We're
we?
terrible, terrible
Yeah.
people.
Yeah.
So I think the
Am
queen
I a
does end up
terrible
dying.
person though?
I feel like we're
No.
all horrible in our own way.
I don't know how I don't think
I
I'm
mean-
really. I think
I
I'm
mean-
the least horrible.
Yeah, you only kill people for money. That's the
Yeah.
No, I do not kill people for money. I only do it for the sake of the safety of my country.
Of course.
It's your job.
There's a difference.
But from what I'm hearing, with 4 people saying that they aren't going to help, the queen probably dies.
I feel as though that's entirely possible.
Yeah, and I'd probably die with her.
We don't know. We'll see.
That is also entirely possible.
I would like to keep everyone alive for as long as possible. Whether they'll be up and about, of course, is an entirely different matter. But like I said, the paralytic has some awesome properties. Well, folks, that's the game. Thank you very much for playing.
Woo!
That was fun.
Yay!
We're going to go around and do our outros. We're going to ask folks to say what they thought of the game and any last thoughts about the game and where folks can find you. Let me see here. I did not. Oh, crap.
Uh-oh.
I didn't set up. I did not set up links for everybody like I should have. I am a terrible person.
No,
so if,
you're not terrible.
I
Don't
am.
be.
But so if a link does not appear automatically, feel free to put any links that you would like for your various media or what have you in chat. And we're going to start. We're going to go in reverse order. So we're going to start with Rock.
Okay. I'm Rock. You can find me on Twitter and other places. RROK007. I don't really do a lot other than, you know, reposting when games are and occasionally hopping on them. So I don't really have anything coming up right now, though.
Well, thank you very much for coming out, man. It's much appreciated.
Yeah, no, I love this, man. You know, this is a great game. And then gaming with you and a whole bunch of new people that I haven't gamed with before, it was always a great time.
Excellent, excellent. All right, well, let us go around to Denise.
Hey, it's me again. So, like usual, I'm on Instagram. I'm coming off of a 3-month hiatus. Inktober is right around the corner, so that should be fun. My Instagram is at LAYMONS terms, so it's layman's terms because my last name is fun to play on. So yeah, this was really fun. Yeah, I'm pretty sure I can get my family to play this over Thanksgiving one year, or maybe Christmas when I go visit them. So yeah, this was a good time, and you know how much I love gaming with you, Jim.
Yay! Me too. I love gaming with you. I'm so glad when we have you on.
Yeah.
Excellent, awesome. And let us go around to Ark.
Hello, I am Arch Survivor. I play tabletop RPGs over on Forgebreaker and Party Wipe Games. The next game I'll be in is Monday for our homebrew game, Forest for the Trees. I am at the Sage Kirby on Twitter, and I had a great time playing, and I hope I get the approval for the Tall Pines game. Wink, wink.
We will see. I actually have to take another look at it and see who I'm gonna end up having in that one, because I actually had a decent number of folks sign up, so I gotta winnow it down. So we'll see what happens. But thank you so much for playing. It's very cool. Thank you for coming in. It was much appreciated. And this was a lot of fun. I loved the turn that your character took.
Yeah, I wasn't expecting it either.
That was delightful.
Like I said in chat, I went from Ned Stark to Littlefinger so fast.
Right. It's more fun being Littlefinger.
It is.
Oh, he wins.
Without the
Lord,
creep
it is.
factor. Littlefinger was just a creep.
That's fair.
Like, Littlefinger minus Sansa Stark is the perfect person for politics.
Yeah, right.
Yeah.
Put Sansa Stark in there and he's just a fucking creep.
Yeah, these things, yeah, that's fair. But let us now go over to Jillian.
Yep. That was a really great game. That was pretty fun. It's only my second time played. Oh, there's me. There's the link. I was gonna put it myself, but now I don't have to. Yay.
Yeah,
But
I've been
sorry, I
finding
got
people's
sent-
links and throwing them up there as best I can.
Yeah. Yep, so that was really fun. That was my second time playing for the Queen, and once again, it was super fun. I love this game a lot, and I would love to try a lot more GMless games like this. And I'm so honored to be able to play with you guys, get to meet new people and play with them, and it's all really fun. So in any case, hi everybody. Bye everybody. My name is Jillian. I am known as GForGamingX on Twitter. You can follow me on there for stuff, and you can also find me on my channel, G4Gaming1, where I do a lot of PS4 variety streams and a little bit of Twitch things, and that's really all I'm at, because I'm currently nowhere on the internet. That just shows you that I'm available for games.
Nice. Well, folks, that's it. Thank you very much for watching. It is much appreciated. As for me, once again, I am Jim Ryan. You can find me at OtherDoc on both Twitch and Twitter. My website is jimyesthatjim.com, where you can find my Geek Observation podcast and links to my various other podcasts, audio dramas, writings, and such. I've got links down below to my website, Twitter, and YouTube channel. Speaking of which, the YouTube channel actually has everything on it now. So yeah, I finally caught up. So you can now go. There are a bunch of playlists. If you want to see basically anything that I've done on this channel, it's all there. So you can go and check out all the various series and what have you that have been going on. And for folks, I highly recommend checking this game out. I'm going to go ahead and even I'm going to put a link to it in the chat for anyone who wants to pick it up, I recently grabbed the physical edition because I'm going to be running it at a con soon. I'm going to be at Mace in Charlotte, North Carolina, in about a month, a little over a month. I think it's in November. I can't remember if it's early or late November. So I'm going to be running that there and all manner of other things. But let's see what's happening on this channel. This Tuesday we have the finale of our short campaign of Mashed. That's a game that is powered by the apocalypse. It takes place during the Korean War. It's about a MASH unit out there, and it has been delightful. There was a lot of heavy drama last time, and I cannot wait to see how things conclude. So I'm very much looking forward to that. Then on Saturday, we have our regular Invisible Sun campaign, Saturday evening. It's the Edge of Paradox. They finally got off the boat last time, and we'll see what happens as our Vizsla continue to explore the gold, the area under the gold sun. And so I'm looking forward to that too. And 1 week from today, this Sunday, we have our one-shot of Tall Pines coming up. That's going to be for October. So we're doing all manner of horror-themed things that month. Technically, I do still have sign-ups open for that. Those are still accessible from the website. So if you go down to click on RPG sign up down there, or go to jimyes.jim.com and click on game sign up, you can get to those. As like I said, I'm gonna have to go back and look through and see how many people we have finally for it, and figure out and figure that part out as I sort of get that sorted. So we shall see. We shall see what happens. The other things we have signups for open right now is next month's short campaign of Don't Rest Your Head, which is a sort of urban fantasy horror game about folks who have been awake for too long, and they can now see the nightmares, and the nightmares can see them.
Oh,
And
thank you very much.
That sounds horrifying.
They now have abilities born of their exhaustion and madness, and they can now see the doorways into the Mad City, and they can go and interact with them. And so I'm really looking forward to doing that over multiple sessions to see how things go. It's a glorious downward spiral. And so going to look forward to that. So signups are open for that until this coming Wednesday, October 2nd. After that, that's it. Because we gotta move fast on the casting. Scheduling is a little flexible. There are a number of choices of possible schedules, and I'm gonna choose the cast based on the intersections of those that we get. So go and check that out if you would like to sign up for that. And then finally, also we have signups open for a couple of games of 10 Candles next month, which basically it's a tragic survival story of folks and what they do with the last hours of their life, basically, as everything goes dark.
Eerie.
A lot of delightful gloom happening next month.
Well, it is Halloween month, so it has to be
I feel
spooky.
like it's appropriate.
It's
Indeed.
very appropriate.
I mean, if you know you're gonna die, can you really call it a survival story?
Well,
Right.
it's those who have survived up until this point. And,
It's a hopeful survival story. It's a maybe survival story.
Yeah.
but
Yeah,
everyone will-
Zomboid, this is the story of how you died.
It is a tragedy. It is, though, above all else, a tragedy. So there is those of us those like myself who enjoy drinking the draft of despair and telling those delightful stories. Then that's also open. As always, beginners are welcome. So when we hit the end card, I'm going to send a raid over to Tales from the Grim. They're playing their weekly Star Trek campaign. And they're the Modiphius Star Trek. I believe that's the company that does it, yeah. And it's been delightful. They do awesome RP over there. So feel free, if you like, to hang out with us and say hi to them when we get over there. That, again, will be when we hit the end card. But in the meantime, folks, thank you very much for watching. Take care, and I will see you all of a sudden. Farewell.
Bye.
Bye.